that the Power Rangers did a couple years back?
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely trying to make our own name, but just having them as a, kind of like an older brother kind of deal, just, what they did for this program and the D-line was awesome, and it was super cool watching them. And people on this team who got to play with them have kind of carried on their traditions just with, being good leaders and things like that. We just kind of passed everything down to all of us, and, we just try to keep it up.
Bryan, there's obviously a lot of hype around this entire unit. How do you guys handle that, managing expectations when it's day 3 of fall camp and you got a lot of work to do?
I mean, we just stay inside out, all of us. We're working right now. We're not really listening to all the outside noise. We're just trying to, stay together as a group and just work on everything we need to be ready for our first game.
In your opinion, how good can this group be?
As good as it wants to be, We just got to put in the work, and the sky's the limit for us.
How motivating is game 1? I mean, sometimes game 1 can be against Troy or against La Tech or something like that, but game 1's against Georgia. It's the top 5 battle the world's going to be watching.
Yeah. I mean, here, every game we look at as a huge game. Of course, Georgia's a great opponent, and it's going to be a big game. Everyone's looking forward to it. But you just look at it as another game. They're going to be a really, really tough opponent, and they have really good players, and it's going to be a tough battle, but just another game for us.
Does it change anything about how you work in preseason camp at all, knowing that there's no margin for error right off the bat?
Every preseason camp, there's no margin for error. You got week in and week out. This is all just getting everything down. We need to lay the framework for this season, and so I mean that's every year. Last year for me and this year, it's the same thing. Nothing's changed up in our camp. We're just getting ready for the season.
You talked about a technique you worked on. Was there anything in particular, reading and reacting in terms of certain situations, or hand technique? What types of stuff are you looking at and saying that going to the home?
It was, for me, mostly it was just my run game technique I needed to work on, from going against, 200-300 pounders, double teaming you. It's a big difference from high school. So I needed to get my footwork down, my hands, my eyes, everything just had to get better for how fast and more physical this game is.
Yeah, so when you get on the field here, the first day of fall camp, do you notice you're able to get between guys? Kind of get off the ball easier, I guess. How does that work actually translate?
It just slows down for me. The game just slows down for me. I'm able to read backfield sets better. I'm kind of able to read what's going to come at me before it even happens, and that kind of slows everything down for me. It just makes things. It makes me be able to play faster. I'm not actually faster, but kind of lets me play faster just because I'm more free.
Bryan, how would you compare the depth of your unit this year compared to what it was last season?
I mean, we had a bunch of stuff going on last year. Yeah, injuries and sicknesses and all kinds of things. So, as long as everybody can stay healthy, we have all the depth we need. We have a ton of really good players in our D-line room, D-end and tackle. So it'll be perfect.
Bryan, you talked about DJ coming in here last year as 18-year-old, not really knowing too much, but watching you earlier, it seemed like you were a pretty vocal leader out there with your teammates. What's your progression there as a leader in the locker room?